How's it going, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm Dan, the cobbler, and I've got a really exciting video for you today as we're fixing the world's strongest man's shoes. Keep watching, see what it's all about. So once again, welcome back, guys. Hope you're doing fantastic. And yeah, like I said, exciting episode today. We've got a celebrity guest on the channel, Eddie Hall, former World's Strongest Man. He was World's Strongest Man 2017. Mitchell Hooper is World's current Strongest Man 2023. But regardless, Eddie had a pair of shoes that he wanted fixing. I caught up with him at the weekend. Let's see what he had to say. Eddie, welcome to the channel. Good to have you here.
Hey man, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad at all.
Good.
I think we just caught up at the weekend at your photo shoot for Beast Farm, your company.
Yeah. Thanks for being there.
Did it go well?
Yeah, it went well. Yeah, I was happy with it.
Good to meet all the team and get stuck in.
Yeah, meet all the interesting characters like yourself. So you're a cobbler. Is that the right description? Cobbler.
I am a cobbler. That is the term, or technically a YouTube cobbler, if you will. There's a few of us. There's maybe 3 of us in the world. We're all friends, though.
Right. Okay. Nice. Is there a film called Cobbler with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's cool about that film is they kept it really true. So a lot of the things you see in the film, they put all the same machines that we actually use, all the same materials that I use. So that was a nice little touch.
So you asked me at the weekend if I've got any old shoes need repairing. I had a quick look. I think I've got an old pair of trainers.
Okay.
Probably do with a revamp.
Okay.
Really nice pair of trainers, but all the soles are just getting a bit tatty on them. And then, I don't know how you feel about this, but I've got like my very first pair of Crocs.
We spoke about this.
Yeah. And the soles of they're like slides now. So and I've slipped over so many times in them. Yeah, slicks.
That'd be good if you're racing on a track.
I'm sick of going arse over tit in my garden, slipping on a wet tile or something. Could you do something with them where you not just revamp the tread, but put something a bit more hardware in?
Absolutely. Yeah, it sounds like they definitely need a new sole.
Excuse me.
With that, it would come with new tread, and it would be better tread than you had in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, the Crocs are pretty good, to be honest. We could maybe put something a different color on. I don't know how you feel about that. If you just want to keep them plain. No, I don't know.
I like to keep my Crocs original.
Yeah,
but even like the strap that goes above, like when you put them in 4-wheel drive, the strap goes over your heel. Like they've snapped off. So yeah. There's
that needs sorting out.
So
yeah, we can definitely do that. I've not had a pair of Crocs on the channel. I had a Croc as a joke. There was one of my older videos, a customer sent in a pair of handmade crocodile skin shoes.
Right,
He wanted eyes adding to the shoes, which a lot of people hated, but I thought it was quite fun. So it made it look like a crocodile. And I just had a running joke that there was a crocodile in the shop chasing me, and it was a little baby's green Croc. Going across the screen.
So I'll be the first pair of Crocs you've done then.
And hopefully it goes well. It might be a disaster.
Well, if you ruin my favourite pair of Crocs, there's going to be problems. So it needs to be good.
I know how far away you are.
I'll pay someone to come up and sort you out.
Oh, a hitman?
Yeah.
Eddie Hall's going to have me rubbed out.
Is it James Bond where he puts a flick knife in the toe of the shoe? Could you do something like that?
Do you know what? I had a customer ask me if I could do a James Bond flick knife before, and I was all up to do it. I gave him a price. He sent them over, and then my dad said to me, he was like, that's probably really illegal. You might want to check that.
Yeah, flick knives aren't they?
In the concealed weapon, it would have.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. So I look forward to getting your Crocs over, or whatever else you might have for me.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do. And I'll get them back to you as soon as possible.
Sounds good, man. All right, you email your address and I'll get them up to you.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time, Eddie.
Thanks, buddy. Take care, man.
So here we are. The Crocs have arrived in the post. And I have to say, I don't think I've ever seen a pair of size 14 Crocs. Eddie, you've got some ginormous feet. But let's talk about the job. So he said the soles are completely smooth, but he wanted something better on anyway. That's kind of close to original. So what I'm going for is a sole by a brand called Zvig. which is even on par with the Mighty V brand. This stuff is so sticky, and it's going to be kind of low profile, similar to the original. We also need to replace the missing strap, so I'm going to get the original one from Crocs and give them a jolly good tidy up. And I've got a little trick up my sleeve of how I'm going to beast them up with the Beast logo, so keep watching till the end to see what that is. Right, so the first thing we would normally do is look at stripping the shoe down, but of course there's nothing to strip off on this job, so we're going to do it a bit backwards. First thing I'm going to do is clean them, give them a good old scrub up. So I'm using a product here called Foam Tex by Angelus that I really like. It comes out as a nice thick foam. Just going to get all that dirt off. Just give it a good scrub with one of our Sapphire horsehair brushes. Just wipe off some of the excess muck. I've just got a little baby brush to get in all these nooks and crannies. Get rid of all that toe jam. Okay, so we're just going to let that air dry off and look at the next bit of the job. So I just noticed when I finished cleaning, there's some little white specks on there. Maybe Eddie was doing some painting, but either way, whatever it is, we're going to use the good old jerk off stripper, and that's going to loosen whatever it is and get it off. Okay, so moving on to replacing this rear heel band, I've managed to get a new original strap and also the little Croc rivets. So 2-minute job, let's get straight to it. I'll pinch these old rivets off. One rivet in through the back, make sure this guy is the right way up. Get a little Croc that side, pinch it together. Okay, there we go. Right, so moving on to the meat and potatoes of the repair is getting the sole on. Now, one of the challenges about this job is getting the new sole to stick to this pair of Crocs. And whenever we have a challenging glue job, one of the main things we need to do is make sure that we rough up the sole nice and properly. So we're getting a brand new rough sanding band to put on the machine, so it's just going to put lots of nice little grooves in the sole so the glue has something to stick to. When we put these bands in, they have an arrow to make sure that they're going the right way, because they do have a backwards and forwards, believe it or not. Right, so there's our sole all prepared and sanded up. So one thing we need to do with a tricky gluing job is use primer. So we've got the Renier Rehargol primer. So we're just gonna crack that open and get that straight on there. Let it soak in and cure. So basically what primer does is the primer sticks to the shoe and then the glue sticks to the primer. Smells like chlorine, doesn't it, camera girl Carla?
There's a bit.
It's like being at the swimming pool. This is the beginning of Carla's chemical sniffing addiction. Okay, so that's that on. Just going to give it about half an hour to really soak in, and then we can move on to the next bit. So we've waited about an hour probably to let our primer cure, and I haven't really spoken about what the Crocs are made of. They are man-made material called Croslite, so neither rubber or plastic. So we really need to pull out the big guns. So we're going to use the Renier Hardener, which is going to make the glue go super hard and stick super well. And I need to mix it up with some glue in a pot, but the only pot I've got spare is my Mr. Muscle Strongman cup. I almost forgot before we start the gluing to get Chief Ron on the scene to oversee the gluing operation. So now he's here, without further ado, let's get sticky. Okay, so we're going to give that 5 minutes to dry, come back, do a second coat, and then heat everything up and stick it together. Okay, so that's had 5 minutes to dry, so we're just going to grab this guy, bring him up here to the cheese toasty oven, heat it up. We've got a little boost button here. So for gluing the shoe, I just like to use a heat gun because it's more mobile, and of course we can't fit shoes in the heat oven.
I hope you don't shoot me.
Pew, pew, pew. Me and Carla are just checking out my muscle food delivery. Thought Eddie might appreciate seeing this, getting my good quality protein in. The worst part about my training routine is I do not eat enough or properly. And these things are pretty cool. Ooh, that one looks tasty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'll have it for lunch. So now that is hotter than a ghost chili pepper, we can stick it together. I'll try and get that little logo in the middle. And give it a good press, just to really secure everything together. So we're just going around cutting the excess off, and then we can head over to the machine to trim it up nicely. So now we've trimmed it all up, we're just going to go around the edge with a bit of ink just to colour it up. This might look super black and shiny, but it's all going to blend together when we polish it up. This glove on so I don't stain my fingers, else no one will like me anymore. I'll never get a girlfriend because I've got horrible dirty fingers. Okay, so it's all coloured up. There's our sole nicely trimmed to shape. It's looking pretty cool already. So what I'm going to do is go over it with the Saphir 1925 cream. Now this is usually for leather, as you guys know, but we can still put this on, and the waxes and the shea butter are still going to give it a nice sheen without it being shiny. So this will work pretty well. There we go, just get that all over there. Cream's sort of like liquid polish. And remember, if you want any creams or polish for the Saphir 1925 cream, you can find it all at our online shop, tringshoerepairs.com, where we've got everything you need to make your shoes look the bee's knees. All right, that's had a minute to dry, so we're just gonna take a yak hair brush to shine it up, buff it up. Not too shiny. Okay, so there we go, guys. I was gonna say job done because we're done with the meat and potatoes, but remember at the beginning of the video I said I've got a little trick up my sleeve how I'm gonna beast these up. Let me show you what I've made. So what I've made is a very special widget, at least I think they're called widgets, those little badges that stick into the holes on Crocs. So Eddie asked me if we could get his logo on there somehow, so I've had lasered up some little beast badges. There you go, and that's the actual logo, the logo that is on all of Beast Farms products. There we go. So I'm going to make this into a widget so it can poke in, and then Eddie can rock his logo on his Crocs. All right, so to make this widget, I just need a few things. We obviously need our Beast badge, some epoxy resin, a dish to mix it up with, and an old widget. I'm not sure why this is a lady with an afro, but we're gonna pinch the back off of this widget. We just need to mix up a little bit of resin. So for those of you who don't know, resin usually comes in two parts. Two liquids. You squirt it out and mix it up together. Activates once it's mixed together, and then it sets super hard. Okay, that's mixed up enough, so let's get a little bit on the back of our widget. Now I'm saying it out loud, I feel like widget is something to do with an iPhone, but we're calling it a widget today. And just pop it in the middle of our badge. All right, there he is. That's going to work really well, but what I want to do is let this dry overnight so it's really solid. Now, just while that's drying, I've got to take a minute, guys, because Ron has been badgering me. He's desperate for me to tell you guys something. So what is it, Ron? You're a huge strongman fan and you're really excited that Eddie's on the channel. You want to go gym and do some strongman stuff now? All right, but just a quickie. So we're at the Strongman Gym, Fierce Gym, and I bought Ron here because we're going to lift some Atlas stones. So first, I'm going to have a go and show Ron how to do an Atlas stone, and then we're going to let Ron have a go. There you go, Ron. All right, so we're back and our badge is completely dried, so I'm just gonna poke it into one of these holes. Eddie can pick any hole he likes, but we're gonna go for that one. And there we are, job done. There we go, guys, job done. So we've done a full new sole in this cool Svig sheeting, fixed to the broken strap at the back with a little Croc logo, original Croc straps, and of course given them a good shine up and made a little custom widget for them. I think Eddie's going to really like them. Let's get him back in the post to him so we can see what he thinks. But just before we go there, I want to show you something else that Eddie sent down. These really cool Nike LeBron trainers. I didn't make a video on them because all I did was clean them up and give them a new tread on the sole, but I thought they were really cool, so I just wanted to show you guys.
Right, I've got my shoes back from the cobbler. Ooh, look at them bad boys. Hey, have you ever seen Crocs with such good treads on? That's amazing. It feels like much more hard wearing as well. I'm well impressed with them. He's done me a little Beast badge. With my logo on. Put me the 4-wheel drive back on. Honestly, I'm really impressed with them. I've had these for, gotta be like 5-6 years. So yeah, I'm glad to get them back. And then my LeBrons, he's done a good job with them. Tidying them up. Put new tread on them because they were getting a little bit worn. Well happy. Thank you, Mr. Cobbler. Job well done.
So that is the end of the video, guys. Really hope you enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun, and I want to extend a big thank you to Eddie for being a good sport and being involved with the video. Really hope you enjoy the Crocs, so you don't slip on your ass in the garden anymore. Now, obviously, a theme in this video was the word Beast. It's Eddie's nickname and the title of his brand, Beast Farm, which I just showed you earlier. I haven't spoke about it much. I am an affiliate for Beast Farm products, which means I endorse it. I use it myself. Really, really good stuff. And I urge you to try some if you're into the gym and you buy whey protein powder or pre-workouts. This one I've got here is the stimulant-free pre-workouts. There's no caffeine in it, so it's ideal for me if you want a bit of a sort of a blood flow pump and an energy spike without the stimulants that keep you awake at night. You can have something like this. This is one of the whey proteins. It's chocolate fudge flavor, which is amazing. I'm also having the jammy biscuit flavor at the minute, and they're just really light, smooth proteins, which I love because some of them can be really heavy. If you want to try it, I've got a discount code, which is just Dan. It saves you 10% and it earns me a little bit of commission. So you support me and the channel and get a bit of discount for yourself. So that is the real end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. Remember to subscribe if you're new, hit the notifications bell so you're kept in the loop every time I upload new content. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.